Hi, in this video we're going to show you how to dual boot the Zorin OS operating system with Windows. So we did a video on Zorin itself showing you how it's installed and some of the features, but if you want to have both Windows and Zorin at the same time, you could easily do so. So in our video we installed Zorin on a virtual machine, but this time we're going to show you how to actually dual boot it with Windows so you have the option of which one you want to start when you boot up your computer. Alright, so on this computer here we have our C drive with 150 gig drives, but this is just a test computer, so you most likely have a larger drive than this. And then we have a secondary drive here with 100 gigs. So we're going to put it on our C drive here. Ideally, if you have a second hard drive, it's better to install it on its own standalone hard drive rather than put it on the same drive as Windows. But we're going to put it on the same drive as Windows because many people don't have a secondary blank drive to put it on. So what you need to do is you need to get some free space or unallocated space on this drive, because if you don't, even though you say install it alongside Windows, it's going to put it on your secondary drive if you have one. So to do so, we're going to just simply right click on our main C drive here, the big partition, shrink volume. So of course you're going to need the room to shrink the volume. So if your C drive is full, then it's probably not going to work out for you. Okay, so now we're going to put in the amount we want to shrink or have available when we're done. So out of this 150 gig drive, let's say we want 50 gigs for Zorin. So we'll just put in 50,000 here for megabytes. Click on shrink. All right, so now you can see we have approximately 50 gigs unallocated space. And now we have 100 gigs left for our C drive here. I think you only need about 15 gigs for Zorin for the base version. And if you're doing Pro, I think it's about 40 gigs free that you need. So we're just going to be installing the free version here. Okay, so now that we have this done, we have our ISO file downloaded from the Zorin website. So I'll put a link in the description for that. So once you download the ISO file, you're going to need to create a bootable flash drive or CD if you still have a CD player. So that way you could boot your computer with the Zorin ISO file. So you could use a tool like Rufus or Ventoy, and there's a bunch of other USB creating apps you could use to make a bootable flash drive. So you can't just copy it to a flash drive and expect it to work. You need to make a bootable flash drive with it. So I'll put some links in the description on how you could do that, so you could check out some videos if you've never done it before. All right, so now we're going to restart the computer and boot it with our Zorin ISO file burned to our USB flash drive, and then we'll start the installation. Okay, so now we have our options here. You could kind of scroll through them with your keyboard. Depending on how you're installing it, you might have a little countdown timer. So if you see the little countdown timer, make sure you pick one of the other options here. Otherwise, it's just going to start with the default one here. All right, so we have several options to try or install Zorin, safe graphics, or modern NVIDIA drivers. So I'm just going to do the main one here. And so when you do this, as we mentioned in the other video, you could actually boot up Zorin and run it in memory and actually try it out without installing it. But you just need to remember that if you make any changes or install an app or copy a file or something like that, it's going to be wiped out and it's not going to be saved if you start it up again. So it's used more for testing purposes than to actually use the operating system. Okay, so we're going to do this first option here. We'll press enter. All right, so now it's doing its checksum here, checking the file system. All right, so here's our first screen. So I'm recording at a low resolution, so things aren't fitting too well. See, there's nothing really down there at the bottom. All right, so here's the option to try it, where you could run it right from your flash drive or CD and not make any changes to your hard drive. But we're going to do the install option here. Okay, you just need to pick your keyboard layout here. Okay, so these two options you probably want to leave checked, but if you don't, you could just do the updates afterwards. I'm going to uncheck this for the sake of saving time, but like I said, you probably should leave it checked so you get all the latest updates. All right, click on continue. All right, so you can tell it did a little graphics card update there, made it fit a little better on the screen. All right, so here is where you need to pay attention. So you can see how it says install Zorin alongside Windows Boot Manager. So if you were to pick this option and you didn't have any unallocated space on your C drive and you had a secondary drive, it would install it on that secondary drive, even though it looks like it's putting it alongside your Windows drive. And then if you choose this option, it's going to erase everything on the drive, so you shouldn't be doing that if you're going to be doing a dual boot. And then you can pick this option as well. If we click on continue. All right, so this shows our drives here. So this NVMe is our main drive here. Now these are actually the Windows partitions. It just lists them as /dev for the Linux format. So here's our main drive here, the 100 gig C drive. Here's that 50 gigs that we made by shrinking the C drive. Then you can see this SDA drive. This is the secondary drive that we had in the computer with nothing on it, the 100 gig drive. So what we want to do is pick the free space on our C drive, assuming that's what you're doing. And if you're doing a secondary drive, then you could come here and pick this drive. But we're installing it on the same drive as Windows is installed on in that free space that we made, so we're going to pick this. All right, so we need to click on Add here. So we're going to use all of the space. You don't have to. And we're going to make this a primary drive. At the beginning of the space, we're going to use ext4. That's what Linux uses for its file system. There's other ones too, but this is the newest one. And for the mount point, we're just going to set it to the root here and click OK. So once again, all the space by default, or you could reduce it if you want. Primary for the type of partition, beginning of the space, ext4, and the mount point here as the root. All right, so we're going to click on Install Now. So now it's telling us what it's going to do. It's going to make a change to this NVMe 0N1 on partition 5 as ext4. Click Continue. So one thing I will say before doing this, back up your computer, back up your files, maybe even do a system image backup just in case something goes wrong. All right, we'll click on Continue. Now you need to select your time zone. You can change it if needed. Okay, let's pick a name. Let's call this Bob. We'll call this Zorin OS for the computer name. And for the username, we'll just stick with Bob. Has to be lowercase. Put in a password. Tells you it's a weak password, but this is just a test computer, so we don't care. And then you could have it log in automatically if you don't want to put it in the password. But of course, that's another security risk. But once again, test computer, so I'm just looking to save time here. All right, so as we do some of these more lengthy processes here, I'll pause the video so you don't have to watch the bar go across the screen here. All right, so now we're installing the system. All right, configuring the hardware. All right, downloading some packages here. Okay, so the installation is complete, so now we need to reboot. All right, so it says to remove the installation medium, so your flash drive or your CD, and then press enter. So that way you don't accidentally boot up to your installation media again. All right, so now you can see we have some options here. We could go into Zorin, some advanced options for Zorin, or go into Windows. So let's go into Zorin first. All right, here's our desktop. So it's going to ask you if you want to do the tour, which you could do if you've never used it before. Say no thanks to that. And that's about it. And then you can start using it, installing apps, configure Wine so you could install Windows apps. So I'll also put a link in the description for the other video we did so you could see more how Zorin itself works, because this video is just to show you how to do the dual boot. All right, so now let's boot into Windows to make sure that works. Let's restart. All right, so now we'll go into the Windows Boot Manager. So we have our Windows logo, so it looks good. All right, so Windows looks good as well. Let's go into Disk Management. Okay, so here's our disk. It got switched to disk 1. That sometimes happens when you're doing stuff like this, but it doesn't matter the order here. If your Windows drive is on disk 1 instead of disk 0, that's perfectly fine. All right, so here's our C drive here in TFS. So here is our Zorin Linux partition here. It just says it's a healthy primary partition. It doesn't tell you what it's used for, and you can't really do anything with it because it doesn't have a drive letter, so it's just kind of there. All right, so that looks good. So let's reboot one more time and go into those Zorin advanced options and see what that looks like. All right, so if you choose this option, you could use some generic, probably video mode in case you're having issues, or you could go into recovery mode in case you're having problems. Let's just see what this does real quick. Then you have some options here to go to normal boot, try and make some free space, repair broken packages, check file systems, update the GRUB bootloader. So this is used for the dual boot purposes, so you could choose your operating system as startup. Networking enable, root prompt, and a system summary. All right, so you do have some recovery options there in case you need to do some kind of repair. All right, so as you can see, it's not too hard of a process to do the dual boot with Windows and Zorin. And this process will be similar for other versions of Linux. You know, the screens will just be a little different, but the Windows procedure should be the same. All right, so I'll put a link in the description where you can download Zorin, and then I'll put some links for some of these other videos you could check out, and then you can try it out for yourself. All right, thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe.